Good morning, students. Welcome back to Atmiya Green School. I'm Afrin Sayed, your English teacher, and today I'm going to have a quick revision towards your grammar. Okay, so let's start with nouns. Student, please be attentive and listen everything very carefully. Okay, I'll be revising uh, all your topics of grammar which are included in your online examination test. Okay, so we'll start with nouns. Now, students, what is noun? Nouns are words which are used to refer name of a person, place, animal, or thing. So, any kind of name, person, animal, or thing is referred as noun. Now, some nouns also refer to the feelings and emotions. Now, there are different types of nouns, students. Proper noun and common noun, countable noun and uncountable noun, abstract noun and concrete noun, and collective noun. Okay, I repeat, students, there are different types of nouns such as proper noun and common noun, countable noun and uncountable noun, abstract noun and concrete noun, and collective noun. Okay, now let's begin with proper noun. What is proper noun? Proper nouns are basically a specific name of any person, place, animal, or thing. When anything is specified, when it is when a certain name is given to it, then it is a proper noun. And always remember, student, the proper noun first letter is written in capital. The any proper noun first letter is written in capital form. Okay. Now, like for example, let's take Raju or Malaysia, uh, river Amazon or Himalayas, Agra, Kolkata, Mumbai. All these are proper nouns. Okay, all these are proper nouns. When any specific name is given to a person or a place or a thing, then it is known as proper noun. Now moving towards the common noun. So students, what is common noun? The names of ordinary or you can say general, which are used in general for any name, person, name of a person, place, animal, or thing. So when things are not specified, they are just used in general. General name is used for it, then it is known as common noun. Okay, like if I say rivers, then I'm talking about all the rivers. Okay, so that is common noun. Whereas when I'm specifically talking about river Narmada, then it is proper noun. Okay, river Narmada is proper noun, but talking about just rivers makes it common noun. Okay, let's take one more example. If I'm saying that girls come here, so uh, I'm talking about a common noun because I'm using in general. I'm talking about all the girls, so it is a common noun. But if I say Priya, come here, then it is proper noun because among girls I'm specifically asking for Priya. Okay, then that is proper noun. Okay, I hope I'm very much clear with common noun and proper noun. Okay, now let's move towards a countable noun. Now, nouns which are countable, which we can count, like most of the nouns can be counted, and they have both singular and plural forms. As name suggests, nouns that can be counted are called countable nouns. Okay, so anything which is countable, like it can be anything. For example, eggs or cats or dolls or balls, anything can be considered as countable noun. Let's take example. I got a bicycle for my last birthday. So bicycle is a noun. Okay. And bicycle is which kind of noun? It is a countable noun. Like you can count one bicycle, two bicycle, three bicycle. So therefore it is a countable noun. Okay. Now uncountable noun. Uncountable nouns are nouns which cannot be countable. Like which are not countable. Okay, like we can say rice, wheat, milk, sugar. All these nouns are uncountable. You can't count the nouns. sorry, you can't count the sugar cubes. The number of sugar cubes in a packet cannot be counted. So it is known as uncountable noun. Okay. Now, like some water, a little milk, the gold, all this is all this is uncountable. Look, students, when I'm using a little milk, I'm not using just little milk. I'm using a little milk. Okay, so it make difference. A little and little makes difference. Okay, now there are abstract noun and concrete noun. Abstract nouns are words that name emotions, mental state, or ideas. They do not refer to things that you can see or touch. So, abstract noun talks about intangible things. Okay, sorry, it talks about intangible things which cannot be seen. They can be felt, but they cannot be seen. So, that is abstract noun. Whereas concrete nouns are the names of material things that can be touched or seen. Okay, so anything which can be filled or which can be felt with the help of our senses, like any of the senses, like we can see, we can hear, we can feel, we can touch. Then all this comes under concrete noun. Okay, now let's have some example of abstract noun like happy, sad, lies, ideas. All these are abstract noun. Now, like peace, pride, all these are also abstract noun. Okay. Now let's have some examples of concrete noun as well. Okay. Now, concrete noun are nouns which can be felt, which can be, you can say, which can refer to people, place, or animal or thing, and they can be touched or seen. So, anything which can be touched or seen is comes under the concrete noun. I hope I'm very much clear with abstract noun and concrete noun, students. Okay. Uh, Now, moving towards collective noun. So, collective noun, some noun refers to a group of a person, animals, or things of the same kind. They are thought as of one unit, though they include several members. So, when we consider the whole, when we consider as one unit, even though there are a number of people or a number of animals or things, but we consider it as one. Like when I say students, so you are many students. Okay, you are a group of girls and boys sitting together for a common purpose of studying. Okay, so I'm considering you all as one unit, that is students. So students is a collective noun. Okay, let's take an example. Let's take some example for collective nouns, like a herd of cattle, a fleet of ships, a swarm of flies, a bunch of flowers, a pride of lion. I'll repeat it for you. A herd of cattle. I'm talking about HERD herd, not HERD herd. Okay. A fleet, FLWT fleet of ships. A swarm of flies. A bunch of flowers. A pride of lions. So all this is collective noun. All these are examples of collective noun. Okay. Now let's have some more examples of collective noun. um, a bunch of flowers or a bouquet of flowers, a battalion of soldiers or an army of soldiers, a colony of ants, a flock of birds, a litter of kittens, a pride of lions, a school or a shoal of a fish, a team of players, a brood of ducks, a cloud of dust, a herd of cattle or elephants, or and most of the animals are considered with herd. A group of friends, a pack of wolves, lice, cats, a murder of um, crows, a swarm of mosquitoes or flies, a troop of dancers. So all these are examples of collective nouns. Okay. So we have gone through the nouns, what are nouns, which are nouns, and we have even revised the types of nouns. towards pronouns. Now, look students, pronouns. Pronouns are words which are used to replace noun. Very good. Pronouns are words which are used to replace noun in order to avoid their repetition. So when we want to avoid the repetition of noun again and again, we use pronouns. Okay. The noun that a pronoun replaces is called antecedent. Yes, we have already studied in the video. Okay. That noun that a pronoun replaces is called a antecedent. I repeat, the noun that a pronoun replaces is called a antecedent. There are various types of noun. Okay, which are they? Personal pronoun, possessive pronoun, demonstrative pronoun, interrogative pronoun, relative pronoun, emphasizing pronoun or reflexive pronoun, and indefinite pronoun. Now we'll study one by one. Now we'll study one by one all types of pronouns. Okay, I repeat students, which type of pronouns are there? Personal pronoun, possessive pronoun, demonstrative pronoun, interrogative pronoun, relative pronoun, emphasizing pronoun, indefinite pronoun. Okay, let's go through different types of pronoun. First, we'll go through personal pronoun. Okay, now in personal pronoun, there are three person. Okay, we are divided into three categories: first person, second person, and third person. Okay, students, if you can remember and recall, who's the first person? The first person is one who is talking. So, person who is talking is a first person. Second person is the person with whom we are talking. Okay, second person is the person with whom we are talking. And third person is a person who is talked about. So, the third person is a person whom we are talking about. I repeat, students, once again. First person is a person who is talking. Like if I am talking, so I am first person. Second person is the person who is listening to the first person. Okay. Um, so basically the person who is listening me. Okay. So who is listening me? You are listening me. So you students are my second person. And third person is a person we are talking about. So whatever or whomever we are talking about comes under third person. I hope I'm very much clear, students. Now, in first person, singular, I and me is used. I is used as subject and me is used as object. I repeat, in first person singular, I is used as subject and me is used as object. Now, in first person plural, we is used as subject and us is used as object. Okay, I repeat, students, in first person plural, we is used as subject and not you, us is used as object. Now, in second person, for both singular and plural, you and you are used both in both the cases in subject as well as in object. Okay. Now, in third person, if it is singular masculine, if it is singular masculine, then for the subject we will use he and for the object we will use him. I repeat, for the subject we will use he, whereas for the object we will use him. In third person singular feminine, I repeat, in the third person singular feminine, as subject we will use she and as object we will use her. As subject we will use she and as object we will use her. In third person neuter, as subject we will use it and as object we will use it. Okay, so in both cases as subject and object, right? In neutral case, singular, we are using it. Whereas in plural, masculine, feminine, and neuter, it in plural, masculine, feminine, and neuter. Whether it is masculine, whether it is feminine, whether it is neuter, both in the case of subject, like in all three cases, irrespective of the gender, whether they are masculine, feminine, neuter. In plural third person, it is used they, and for object, it is used them. Okay, for subject, they is used, and for object, them is used. Okay, so students, are we clear with personal pronouns? Are we clear with personal pronouns? Okay, we are clear with first person, second person, and third person also. Now we'll move forward towards possessive pronoun. So what is possessive pronoun, students? Possessive pronouns that are the pronouns that shows the possession, that shows the ownership. Okay, they are not followed by a noun, though they refer to a noun. Okay, though they are referred to noun, they are not followed by pronoun. Okay, so what are the examples of possessive pronoun? Mine, mine, mine. OURS ours, YOURS yours, HIS his, HERS hers, THERS theirs, and ITS its. Okay, let's take some example for this. These books belong to Post. They are his. Okay, so here you can see that it does not follows the noun. Okay, and they shows the ownership, that to whom does it belongs to. They are the answer to the question that to whom does it belongs to. Let's take one more example. This notebook has name on it. It is mine. That notebook has your name on it. It is yours. So here mine and yours are possessive pronoun. So basically possessive pronouns answer to the question that to whom does it belongs. Okay, I hope students you are very much clear with personal and possessive pronouns. Now we'll move towards demonstrative pronouns. So what are demonstrative pronouns? These pronouns are used to point out a certain category, thing, or statement. They are like THI is this, THA, sorry, THAT that, THESE this, and THOSE those. Which are demonstrative pronouns, students? I repeat, THIS this, THAT that, THESE this, and THOSE those. So these are demonstrative pronouns. Okay, these are demonstrative pronouns. Now, this is a table. When table is near to me, when table is near to me, and it is singular, then I'll use THIS this. Okay, when chair is far to me, like that is a chair. So when it is in a singular form and it is far to me, then I'll use THAT that. Okay, now if it is singular, if it is plural but near to me, it is plural but near to me, then THESE this will use. Okay, and if it is plural and far from me, if it is plural and far from me, then THOSE those will be used. I repeat, students, look, when thing is singular and near to me, THIS this will be used. When it is plural and near to me, then THESE THO THESE this will be used. I'll repeat, students, for you again. When thing is singular and near to me, then THI is this. If thing is plural and near to me, then THESE this. Okay, I'll repeat again. I'll write it for you on the screen. You can see on the screen. THIS this. When will be used? Wait, I'll write it for you. So THIS this. Singular and near. Okay, then THESE this. Plural and near. Okay, whereas THET, that, singular, and far. Whereas THOSE, those, plural, and okay. So these are demonstrative pronouns. What are these? These are demonstrative pronouns. So we know that these and that are used instead of singular noun, and THSA these and THSA those are used for instead of plural noun. Okay, this and this indicate that things referred to are near. The pronouns that and those indicate objects that are farther or far away. Okay, I hope it is very much clear to you all students. Now we'll move towards interrogative pronouns. Interrogative pronouns are pronouns which ask you question. Okay, which are used to ask questions. They are WHM whom, WHIC whose, WHAT what, WHICH which, WHERE where, WHYY, and WHEN when. So who and whom are used to refer people. I repeat, who and whom are used to refer people, whereas what and which are used for things. What and which are used for referring to things. WHERE when is used to refer to a place. WHERE where is used to refer a place. WHEN when, I repeat, WHEN when is used to refer to a time, and so when is used to refer to a time. So whenever we want to refer time, we use when. Why is used to refer to a reason. That why, like why were you absent, why you came late. So all these are example of why. So when you want to know the reason behind something, then why is being used. When is being used when you want to know the timing. Where is want is being used when you want to know about the name of a place. What and which are used for things, whereas who and whom is used for person. I hope students you are very much clear with interrogative pronouns also. Now moving towards reflexive and emphasizing pronouns. Okay, so this pronouns contain the word suffix, that is self or selves. Self is used for a singular, whereas selves, selves, selves is used with plural. I repeat, self is with self, self, self. I'll write it on the screen, students. You can see it. Self is used for singular, whereas selves is used for plural, and they are used as suffix. Okay, they are used as suffix. Now let's take examples like myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, themselves. All are examples of reflexive and emphasizing pronouns. All are examples of reflexive and emphasizing pronouns. So these are called reflexive pronouns when they refer to the subject of the sentence. Look, example, Post looked at himself in the mirror. Post looked at himself in the mirror. So whom he is looking at? He is looking at himself. So we are writing himself. Okay. Now the dog scratched itself. So when the action is being carried out with the noun itself, when the action is carrying out with the noun itself, then this type of pronoun, that is reflexive and emphasizing pronouns, are used. Okay. I hope it is very much clear to your students. Now, after reflexive pronouns, we'll move towards relative pronouns. What are relative pronouns? A relative pronoun refers to a noun which come before it in a same sentence. Who, which, whom, that are the most commonly used relative pronouns. They are usually used to give more information about the noun or clarify which noun we are talking about. So when we want to clarify that about which noun we are talking about, or we want to give more information about noun, then we use relative pronoun. Like, let's take example. I like the movie that we watched yesterday. So movie is of course a noun, but she likes the movie, but which movie, which sorry, that we watched yesterday. Okay, so she liked the movie that we watched yesterday. So here that is doing the work of giving more information that which movie does she likes. Then let's take one more example. The boy who came to see me are my friends. So the boy who came to see me are my is my friend. The boy who came to see me is my friend. So when I'm saying the boy who came to see me is my friend, so it reflects to the boy. So who is the boy? Like he's giving the more information about the boy, it is giving more information about the noun. Okay, so when more information is being given by the noun, uh, uh, so we'll use who. We are using who to give more information about the noun boy. I hope it is very much clear, students. Okay, so I'll read it again for you that what are relative pronoun. A relative pronoun refers to a noun which come before it in the same sentence. Which are they? Who, whom, which, and that are most commonly used relative pronouns. Okay, students. Now the last types of the last pronoun which we need to devise is indefinite pronoun. We use indefinite pronoun to refer to a person or thing in general way, not a specific person or a thing. So when we are not talking about any specific person or thing, then it is indefinite pronoun. Okay. So when we are not talking about a specific person or a specific thing, then it is indefinite pronoun. Now here, the words that end in body, thing, one, like somebody, something, someone, etc. are indefinite pronoun. Okay, they are not definite, they are not specified, so it is known as indefinite pronoun. Okay, as we use something or all or everything, some, anybody, one, everybody, somebody. When I say somebody start reading, okay, so when I'm saying somebody, I'm not specifying anyone's name. Okay, I'm not specifying anyone's name. I'm just saying that anyone can read. Okay, so that is indefinite, something which is used in general. Okay, so students, we took the revision of nouns, we took the revision of pronoun. We studied about different types of noun, and we we have gone through all the definitions. Then we studied about pronouns, and we even have gone through all the definitions of pronouns as well, and it was very much easier and simpler to understand. Okay, so you can practice this grammar in your grammar book. Okay, you have your grammar book, students. Both 6th and 7th standard have their grammar book, so you can practice this grammar in your grammar book, and you can see that whether you understood it or not. Okay, we have the brief video as well, and we have this revision video as well, so you can take help from here. I hope this video was very much helpful to you all, and you are preparing well for your exams. Okay, thank you so much, students. Have a good day and take care of yourself as well as of your families. Thank you so much.